Friends, what's going on? It's Richard. How you doing? And Erica in this little corner. What? Can you sit up? There we go. How you doing, friends? We were back live on YouTube over here, Facebook over here. Last night's was a marathon session. I apologize to the Facebook viewers that got cut off after a short 45 minutes. Those of you on YouTube, we went over 2 hours, which I don't know what got into you or me or she or anything, but it was just insanity. It was like a marathon session. Nonetheless, as promised last night, we're taking the applicants. We have 36. Miami, I like it. We have 36 entrepreneurs, hardworking, dedicated Airbnb hosts or want to be Airbnb hosts who went through the process and applied for the scholarship. And at this point, I've read every single word of every single application 3 times. How many times have you read them?
At least twice.
At least twice.
Some 3.
Some 3. And so we're taking it really seriously. In fact, on our daily ritual, we hike up to Josie's Peak, Josie's Ridge. We were with the dogs and we spent the entire hike up and hike down talking about the scholarship and the pros and cons of different applicants and who deserves it and who has what attributes and so on. So just want everybody...
Well, and to that point, actually on the top, we always go through part of our ritual at the top is to speak to what we're grateful for. And both of us said how grateful we are that for each and every person that applied and that we got to learn about all of these individuals and that we get to be a witness to all of their efforts. And
Absolutely. It's amazing. And so to Erica's point, which was to my point, we spent the hike up talking about the applicants and the process and the scholarship and what it means and what attributes we seek and trying to differentiate between really compelling life stories and really opportunistic entrepreneurs whose lives I can actually impact and influence. And so there's a lot of different variables that have gone into it. We're really taking this quite seriously. And to that end, we've selected, I believe that's 5 finalists. I think we know who is going to win, but we do want to sleep on it one more night. So the update is we've gone from 36 to 5. We will announce tomorrow at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, who the winner is. And we're excited. I think it's going to be fantastic. It will be life-changing, not only for the individual selected, but also for the other 35 paying members coming to Nashville as well. And I think we will all mutually grow and learn, advance. So we're really excited about that. And tonight, Eric, how you doing? Yeah, no, I mean, you should see all of the stories. They're unbelievable.
narrowing it down to 5 was not easy.
Was impossible.
It was so
and
brutal.
Eric, I still owe you that link. I will send it to you before I go to bed so that you can schedule your one-on-one. And speaking of one-on-ones, I held my first few one-on-one calls with some of the paying attendees in Nashville, and it was remarkable. I mean, each individual that I spoke with, in some cases it was couples, really compelling entrepreneurs, bright future ahead of them, really solid questions. And my personal takeaway from the one-on-ones was it was amazing how different the calls were, right? We spent over half an hour in each particular circumstance. And in the first case we spoke about, can you make that stop beeping again, please? Thank you. I don't know. We go live when the beeping starts, and then I'm all mic'd up. I can't do it myself. It's a great thing that Erica's here. I'm just kidding. There's many reasons that it's great that she's here. Stopping the beeping is just fringe benefit. But in the first instance, we spoke about, let's see, I'm trying to remember who the first phone call was. Oh, financial literacy. This entrepreneur, wildly successful in their career, really, wildly successful, but not necessarily trained, even though highly educated in financial matters and financial literacy and some of the terms and terminology and even things like very large 401k, but had no idea what it was invested in, right? So like a large number, but uncertain as to what it was actually invested in. And so we spent a lot of time talking about financial planning, and we put together an initial plan for how much revenue should be coming in for each unit. And I'm really pleased to say that where he was thinking he was going to be, we're going to shoot for 50 or 75% more because I think he can achieve it. So that was the first call. The second call turned out to be much more of a marketing call. The listing that this couple had, I believe, was underperforming its full potential. I believe it was due to marketing issues. Even though they hired a professional photographer, I thought there was a lot of room for improvement. We worked on the description and the title, and I believe that they will start to see increased bookings and revenue in advance of Nashville. And then interestingly, excuse me, they were in a very conservative position, which was operating this short-term rental with no mortgage, excuse me, which I completely understand, and I think it comes natural to a lot of people, and a lot of people fear debt, so that makes a lot of sense. However, what I was expressing to them was that I was going to do my absolute best to turn their fortune around in that short-term rental, make it a cash engine, start to cash flow, and then once I proved to them that wasn't just like, you know, big talk and there was nothing behind it, like once it was proven and it was hitting their bank account and they got comfortable with it, I'm asking them to open their mind to a more, I would call it a more advanced and accurate financial approach to doing this business, which is to do a very conservative mortgage of about 50%. And so if you borrow at 3.5%, which is where we are in today's market, and you reinvest in the mid-teens or in the 20s, that makes all the sense in the world, and they were open to it. So that was a really good call, and I think will have a significant impact not only in their current bookings, but also in their future life, right? Now buying a second unit and so on. And again, only asking them to do it once we prove that this works. So it's not take my word for it. Let's just fix it. Let's get it cash flowing when the money's in the bank. Then we're going to take the next little step forward, which is let's be a little bit more, embrace risk a little bit more, 50% loan to value. Let's borrow money at 3.5%. Let's reinvest it and generate 20%. That's how you start to move the needle and how you start to generate wealth. And you do that a second time and a third time and a fourth time. So anyway, that was a fantastic call. And then another call I had today, there's just so many things going on, preparing for Nashville and the scholarship. The last call or the next call I had was, oh, right, an entrepreneur, amazing, thank you. An entrepreneur who had self-limiting beliefs about location. And he said, as of 30 days ago, he would have never thought that remote hosting was feasible, possible, or made a lot of sense. And so we spent that phone call on mindset and changing his mindset and addressing why he felt that way and working through it. And it was basically fear, which is what keeps most of us from performing at our peak capacity. It's, you know, this natural instinct to play smaller and live within the bounds and not go climb and summit Mount Moran and take your life into your own hands, right? That's unnatural. What's really natural is to play small and play in the sandbox and just do what's been working forever. And so in this particular individual's case, we spent a lot of time on his mindset, and he addressed that it was fear. And so I asked a very simple question. I said, look, you could be right? Like your backyard or your street might be the ideal place. I said, in your heart of hearts, do you firmly believe that your street, where you have the first one and the second one and you're looking for the third one or the fourth one, whatever the numbers were, is that location like the absolute best location in the entire world for short-term rentals? Because if it is, then just, you know, add the third and the fourth. And he laughed. He was like, no, of course it's not the best. And I said, are you sure? Like, you're 100% sure? And he said, yeah, I'm 100% sure. I'm sure there's better ones. And I said, well, then by definition, you're underperforming your capacity if you're just doing what's convenient and close and what you know and proximity, right? And he said, yeah, that makes a lot of sense in the world. I said, but I still have fear of what goes wrong. And I said, well, why does proximity help? And he basically expressed that, you know, in a bad case scenario, he could go and fix something or do something or whatever. And I basically said, you know, I have a video coming out, it's out on YouTube now, about a disaster scenario that just happened to me yesterday or 2 days ago? 2 days ago. 2 days ago, where I'm in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. It happened in my single largest investment property, which is in New York City. 6 hours by plane. Even if I had a private jet plane, there was nothing I could do. So as a consequence, I just have to be prepared for the natural disaster or the inevitable or the failure or whatever, and I have to plan accordingly, and I have to plan in advance, and I have to have an action plan, and I have to have people that are well trained and ready to jump through hoops to solve the problem so that I don't do it. And by virtue of doing all of that, then I can scale, right? I can do this anywhere in the world. But if I had to be close to it, then I, by definition, wouldn't be training people or hiring the right people. I wouldn't have an action plan. I would just have this self-limiting comfort that I can fix things and I have to be close, but by definition, you can't scale then. So we worked through the mindset stuff, and I think in each case, in each of the phone calls that I just detailed, everyone was like, wow, this is amazing, this is fantastic, which for me personally was so incredibly gratifying because I assigned this homework to get people to start to think and to move the needle in advance of Nashville, but even for me, it was remarkable how much benefit they've already derived from just doing the homework and one phone call. And so I thank them for their time and their energy and for doing the homework and for scheduling the one-on-one call and for speaking with me and being candid and transparent. I mean, the more they share with me, the more I can help them, right? And that's really my goal. So the one individual I talked about earlier with the financial literacy who didn't know what his 401k was invested in, I made it really clear. Share with me what your 401k is invested in. I'm not selling 401ks. I don't want to manage your money. I don't want to invest your money. I don't want to, like, there's no financial gain in this for me whatsoever. But I really understand what 401ks are invested in, what they should be invested in, what's a smart investment given your age, your risk profile. Like that's all common sense to me. And if I can be helpful, share it with me. And so sure enough, I got an email earlier tonight with what the underlying portfolio is. And I'm reviewing it. We're going to have another discussion. So I'm just bringing people up to speed as to what's going on. It's a little bit of an update. The scholarship, I want to again announce that tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Thursday, what, the 26th? Thursday, July 26th at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, right? Isn't that what I said before? Okay. Thursday the 26th, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will announce the winner. Eric and I have agreed. We've narrowed it down to 5. It was such a big decision, and I value her opinion so much that I wanted to make sure that we were both on the same page and that we're really awarding this to somebody that we think is deserving, and we'll take full advantage of it, and we'll make everyone in the short-term rental university community proud, and that we can all cheer him or her on. Support them, and we're taking.
And we'll benefit from the curriculum.
Exactly. Precisely. So let's just see here. We're not going into a marathon session tonight, thank goodness. But hey, Morgan, how are you? Chandra, how are you? Joshua, hello, hello. And over here, let's see what's going on in YouTube. Gaxon, Miami is in the house. Eric, I will send you that link. Cool Beans, dang, missed it. You didn't miss anything. Jules, how are you? All right. Anyway, friends. Quick one, short, to the point. We will see you guys. I'm doing very well, Ace. How are you? We will see you guys, especially the applicants. If the applicants are watching now or tonight or tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, Thursday, the 26th of July. Life will never be the same again for one individual, and we're totally psyched and pumped, and I appreciate everyone's time, energy, attention, diligence, hard work, creativity, and can't wait to share this all with everyone. And Eric is wishing everyone a good luck. Ashley's doing well too. Good. All right, guys. Have a great night. Get some rest. We'll see you tomorrow. Be well. All right. So now